All right, I just wanted to give people a message. Thomas Jefferson said that we're going to wake up homeless on the continent that our forefathers conquered for us if we don't do something about the bankers controlling our money supply, first by inflation, then by deflation. So we must reconquer our country. And no other way to judge the future than to look at the past. And the past has shown that the truth always wins. If the pains to take the truth and bring it to light are suffered, we cannot lose because we have the truth on our side. We must move forward as a patriot family, putting our differences aside, doing it for the greater cause of liberty for future generations. We are fighting for our very existence as a nation of laws and morals, not of a nation of men and money. And principle must trump power. So Ed, Elaine, Aaron Russo, and Bob Schultz have started a patriotic movement not seen since 1765, when the international bankers through the king took away the colony's right to print money. So we got to keep the momentum going. Love your fellow patriot like a brother. Help them no matter what creed, religion, race. We're all yearn for freedom, and we need every patriot we can get. Everyone has a role to play in this struggle. It is not in us to let our founding fathers' sacrifices and our modern-day patriots' sacrifices to be in vain. We must have total victory over the international bankers, or our sacrifices were all for nothing. We are Americans. Resistance to tyranny is our heritage, our legacy, and our duty. Like I told that judge up there in Portland, Maine, you can take my liberty, you can even take my life, but you can never take my sacred honor. Long live the Republic. So I just wanted to get that message out. And I also wanted to give a what's up to a good friend of mine, Old Buck. Been reading stuff, some messages he's been leaving for me, and I really appreciate Old Buck. Appreciate everything you've done, Old Buck, and maybe someday we can get together again, drink some of them Jack and Cokes. So that's it, Bill.
What about what happened up in Portland? Why don't you give us a rundown of that whole incident that happened Thursday, where they took you to that secret hearing and all that? Go ahead.
Yeah, they came into the law library and told me I had court, and I told them I didn't have court, and I showed them the documents that I had on Monday. And the marshal there said, "You got court today," and he said it was a secret court date for security purposes. And I said, "Well, I have a right to be notified. I'm not ready to go to court today. Matter of fact, I'm typing a motion up right now." And he said, "It's too bad. Are you coming with us or not?" And I said, "No, I'm not. You're going to have to take me out here, kicking and screaming." Then the other marshal said, "Where in the Constitution?" He goes, "Mr. Constitution, where does it say that you have to be notified before your court date?" And I said, "It's called the Fifth Amendment, due process." And so they stomped out of the room. They left. They came back with 20 guys. They pointed a paintball gun at me, literally 5 feet from me, and said, "Come out of the room." And I said, "No, I only follow lawful orders, not unlawful orders." So he opened fire on me, hit me 14 times, causing all kinds of blood on my legs and arm, on my left leg and left arm. Then they dragged me out of there, slammed me on the concrete floor, gave me 2 black eyes, and pulled my right shoulder out of the socket. And they put handcuffs on me and on my legs and hands, and then lifted me up in the air about shoulder height. And they basically ran down to the booking area, and at that time my pants had fallen down around my knees, and it's pretty much naked from the waist down, going down through the whole jail, about 300 feet to the booking area. And then they slammed me on the floor. Then they put a big leather restraint around my legs, pulled it as tight as could be, and then they picked me up and they threw me in the van, and I was in excruciating pain, and they drove me an hour and 15 minutes to the courthouse, and then they brought me inside the courthouse, marshals everywhere, and under heavy guard, and they brought me in there and pointed a stun gun, or not a stun gun, a taser gun at me as they took the handcuffs off from the back of me and put them in the front of me. Then I went into the courtroom and just exercised my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, and they dismissed my old lawyer, who was nothing but a liar, and they gave me a new lawyer who I objected to, and that was pretty much it. And I told the judge, I told the judge that you can try to take you can take my liberty, you can take my life, but you'll never take my sacred honor. And they took me out of the courtroom and drove me back here.
What did the judge say when he saw your condition?
He didn't say nothing about my condition. I was all my blood was underneath my pants, and my arm, I had it like just held against my side, so I never really said nothing to nobody about it. But then when I got back to the jail, they took my clothes off to my underwear, and the nurse and the corporal that was there and the lieutenant were taking pictures of me, and the nurse was like, "Oh my God, wow!" And then because I was all blood, and like they were all bruises, and I'm still bruised to this day, almost a week and a half later. So that was that. So I was put into solitary confinement for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Then they took me out Monday, and I was never written up or no charges or nothing. So I was heard that the last guy they shot with the pepper balls and all that, he got written up, and he had to pay $25 for every time he got hit with a pepper ball. So I got no charges, no nothing, because I didn't do nothing wrong. So
unbelievable.
I had a conference hearing today with the attorneys up in Maine again today. So my lawyer's name is Sven Weiberg.
Yep.
S-V-E-N Weiberg.
Mm-hmm.
And his email address is sven@nhcriminaldefense.com. I just wanted to thank Jack Blood for having you on the show and just getting my plight out there. And I've received some letters from people who heard you on the show, and that letters are like gold in here, being locked up. So anybody who wants to write me, would be one appreciated. I read them all, and I write everybody back. So I appreciate everything. And Ted Anderson with the Genesis Communication Group there, another great patriot. Thanks, Ted, for all you're doing, getting the word out. And also Republican Network there, the Republic Network with Fred Smart and them guys. I appreciate everything you guys have done. And to all the patriots in this thing, we're in it together. That's, I might be incarcerated and on the front lines, but we're all in it together, and we all have our roles to play. So,
Yep.
I just wanted to say that, thanks to everybody. So, I don't want to give too many names out, because who knows, I know the feds are watching all of this. They're watching, chasing all the calls, watching all the websites.
Yep.
I don't want nobody else to get in any trouble. Another great patriot is Bob Schultz, who I've met personally up in Queensbury. And Bob, just keep up the good work and keep educating people to what's going on. And I also sent Bob one of Bob's workers my affidavit there when I got shot at by the feds when they almost killed me that day. So, just wanted to give him a shout out. Also, I wanted to say hi to a good friend of mine out in Minnesota, Casey, who's been doing a superb job getting my plate out there.
Yep.
Everybody just keep up the good work. I can only ask, I can't ask any more from what you guys have been doing for me. I appreciate everything.
What do you think of this new lawyer, the court-appointed lawyer?
He's way better than my last attorney. He's more reasonable. He's been working on my case diligently, just doing research. He's actually got discovery material, CDs, discs, paperwork, all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to look into the jurisdiction thing.
Great.
See if he can poke any holes in it or see if he can strengthen it.
Okay.